welcome to the Flamingo. I drew this out by doing a rule of thirds mark on the photo itself, which is 8 inches wide by 9 inches high. That would make the grid lines at the 3-inch mark on the long side and 2 2/3 on the short side. I translated that onto the watercolor paper, and that helps me find the right places. I don't get lost in my lines. So that's how I managed to get the drawing just right, and then we erase the grid lines so that they're not part of the painting. As well as the contours, I also put some markers in for myself for where the shadows are and where the colors change in order to make sure we end up with a drawing that is useful. Good morning and welcome to this week's demo. We're going to be painting a flamingo. It's a vertical crop, 8 by 9 inch, or it scales to 8 by 9. Mine will be 8 by 9. Flamingo in a tight close-up of the face and the wings. It looks like a pose you might see somebody paint a swan in, and I kind of liked that it was that contrapoint, that it was a little bit different from the normal. I'm going to show it to you now. There we go. So you see the picture on the left. It should have been in your email the other day. And I have also, you'll see here that I have picked out some of my colors that I'm going to be using. And that's pretty straightforward. We're going to use a Pyrrole medium red from my core 12 color travel pan set. That's going to make up most of the pink. We'll be using some white, zinc white gouache as well to add a little bit of body to the color and lighten it up. And I'll use the zinc white also for the details when it comes to the end of the painting. So that's our plan for the colors. It was the Pyrrole red. I'm going to use a little transparent orange, and then for the shadows we're going to use a quinacridone magenta and cadmium yellow primrose. And those are the basic colors for the swan, or not the swan, the flamingo. See, now I'm thinking swan. The background is a sap green and some brown and some darks, so that'll be easy. I don't really need to pre-mix that or figure that out. Here now we see the drawing that you saw the time lapse of on the right, and I'll keep the photo on the left as a reference for myself. That's what we're going to be doing. It should be a lot of fun. Tomorrow I will start the actual painting, and we will start by painting the flamingo itself, starting with the light. It'll be okay if we go outside of the boundaries of the bird with the pink, because the background is so much cooler or so much darker. So you'll be able to cover over that. And by doing that at the end, when we do the details and do the background color, we'll be able to cut in on the bird and make some of those fine, feathery kind of things up by the head to give it that special touch so that it's just right with the shapes. So that's our plan. We'll be kicking that off tomorrow, and that will be... we'll see. We might knock out the whole painting tomorrow, or I'll do it as the flamingo first and then the background on the next day. Either way, whether we do the whole painting at once or spread it out over days, you could always watch the video in halves and work on it in 2 days. The key will be to having the flamingo completely dry before starting the background so that it doesn't bleed. This is one where it's going to be more of it's a crisp a crispness that helps it jump off the background rather than a soft melt into the background. So we'll want to make sure that that bird is completely dry before we start doing the background. You could always use a hair dryer to completely dry the bird and then do the background, but I would definitely start this one bird first and background second. All right, see you tomorrow. Get your paints ready.